How does a criminal defense attorney defend someone that they know is guilty? My name is Michael Rainka. I'm a criminal defense attorney in Jacksonville, Florida, with more than a decade of experience. I've handled thousands of criminal defense cases, all the way up from the extremely serious matters down to very not so serious matters. And I started this YouTube page not too long ago, about a week or so ago, to inform people and to shed light upon, the criminal justice system, because I believe it's one of the most misunderstood systems that we have in government in the United States. A lot of people have kind of preconceived notions about the criminal justice system, and my goal is to shed light on the criminal justice system, how it works, and to hopefully answer questions that many people may have. Now, my very first subscriber to this channel specifically requested this video, and I'm happy to answer this question because it's a question that I get asked a lot. How do you defend someone that you know is guilty? How many of your clients are actually guilty? How do you do your job? And the answer to that question is the same answer, the same conversation that I have with clients or potential clients. I tell them, straightforward, I don't care if you're guilty or not guilty. I don't care if you did something or if you didn't do anything. The only thing that I care about as a criminal defense attorney, as your advocate, is what the state of Florida may be able to prove against you in a court of law with relevant, competent evidence. That's it. That's the only thing I care about. Now, if after the discovery process, if we get all of that evidence and we go through it bit by bit, and the evidence is tending to point in the direction that the state may be able to prove its case against you, that you may probably be found guilty, then that's a conversation that we're going to have. That's a conversation that I'm going to have with my client. I've done it thousands of times. They come into my office, they sit down, we go through the evidence bit by bit, and we say, you know what? I don't think that this is the best case to fight. I don't think that this is the best case to really go to trial. I think that this is a case where if there are other avenues available to us, we probably need to start exploring those. Potential plea deals, something like that. If, on the other hand, the evidence tends to show that the state may not be able to prove its case, that's a conversation I'm also going to have with my client. They're going to come into my office, we're going to sit down, and we're going to go through that evidence bit by bit, and we're going to say, look, I don't think the state can prove the case against you because they're missing some really critical evidence for this particular element of the crime. They may not have a reliable eyewitness. There may be physical evidence that they're missing. There may be just problems with their case in general. The police investigation wasn't really up to par. So that's a conversation that we're going to have with my client, whether the evidence tends to point to them being guilty or not guilty. So the answer to that question, while people a lot of times people think it's kind of a moral question, is you have a person in front of you that you know in your heart of hearts is guilty, and yet you're still defending them and trying to get them out of trouble. And that's not really the case. We have in our system of justice what's called the presumption of innocence. An individual who is accused of a crime is innocent until proven guilty in a court of law. It's not my job to judge someone. It's not my job to prove them guilty. It's not my job to do the prosecution's work for them. It's my job to advocate on behalf of my client. And doing so requires me to look at the evidence that is available and is legally competent and sufficient that may be entered into evidence, and to review that and to have honest and frank discussions with my client. So people ask me, how do you do your job? I do it very easily. I have no problem doing my job. I'm happy to defend anyone that needs help, that comes into my office and says, I need help. I was arrested. I was injured. I need help. I don't know what to do. Come on in, have a seat, and let's talk. My goal with anyone is, if I can't help you, I know someone who can. If I can't handle your particular case, I know someone who can help you, and I'm more than happy to put you in touch with them. So I'm happy for all the comments and questions that I've received in just the past week. And if anyone has any ideas for videos or questions that they want to have answered, please comment down below, because I read all the comments. I try to respond to all of them as best I can. And just the last week has given me that confidence to make more of these videos. So I'm trying to end all these videos, like I said. If you've been hurt, if you've been injured, if you've been arrested, please contact me, because if I can't help you, I know someone who can.